and final slate for the show. It is going to be in Major League Baseball, beginning with the Rockies taking on the Phillies. 1:05 Eastern first pitch at Citizens Bank Park. Philadelphia opened the betting as the $1.40 favorite, total of 9.5. We're seeing all kinds of movement in this one, and believe it or not, it is a 20-cent fade of Philadelphia on the money line. We're also seeing movement upward on the total up to 10 flat. So once again, the Phillies open $1.40 down to -120. Total open 9.5 up to 10 flat. 60% of the consensus is leaning toward the Fightins. That's the Fightin' Phillies. 54% of the consensus is leaning toward the under. Right now, the Rockies are plus $1.10 on the money line. Philadelphia plus 145 on the run line. We have Kyle Freeland for the Rockies, Jared Eichhoff for the Phillies. Kyle Freeland's just 2-5 with a 5.68 ERA for Colorado. Eichhoff comes into this game for the Phillies with a 2.65 ERA. Now, Philadelphia is 4th in walks, 9th in home scoring. Colorado striking out 9.9 times per contest. That's actually second to last in Major League Baseball in that category there. Just not making a whole lot of contact. Now, total-wise, Philadelphia is 80% to the under in their last 10. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean Philadelphia -120 in the under 10 runs in that game. And we're going to take a quick timeout and just bang through some shout-outs. Some folks that deserve recognition because they've been very active in our Major League Baseball videos. So these are the guys that commented in our last Major League Baseball video for Saturday. Got to give a shout out to James. I would walk 500 miles. Also want to give a shout out to Chuck Half Pinter, Jay Williams, Blown Stallone, Simplify 0007, The Real Mick and Jen, Maine Stevens, Sean Smith, Jake Ricky Bobby, Stephen Lewis, my good friend there. Marquise 2-Minute Miner. Shout out to Get Sports Strong. That's Dave Delano over there at Get Sports Strong. That's a very nice YouTube channel which does very similar content to me. Once again, that's Get Sports Strong. Make sure you check out Dave. Very diligent in his uploads on a daily basis. Got to give a shout out to Pappy Longwood 69. And then last but not least, Worthy OM311. All right, let's go ahead and get into our next game, and that is going to be Astros Red Sox, 1:05 Eastern first pitch in Fenway at the Green Monster in Boston, Beantown. Boston open -160, total 8.5, 10-cent fade of Boston, and movement upward on the total, -150 and 9 flat. Once again, the Sox open 160 down to -150, total open 8.5 up to 9 flat. Houston's plus 140. Yes, Houston plus 140 on the money line. Boston plus $1.10 on the run line. We have Wade Miley for the Astros. Chris Sale for the Red Sox. Miley is 4-2 with a 3.51 ERA for Houston. Chris Sale just 1-5 with a 4.24 ERA for Boston. Now, the Red Sox have dropped 6 out of their last 8 at home, taking on the Astros if you're into historical trends. They're also 23rd in home walks allowed. Houston on the other side, 1st in hits, 3rd in runs allowed, 1st in hits allowed. They're on a 10-game winning streak, 10-0 in their last 10. Now, total-wise, Boston 71% to the over in their last 7. Give me the Astros plus 1.5 in the under 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Rays. Yankees, 1:05 at Yankee Stadium. We have Charlie Morton for the Rays, Chad Green for the Yankees. Charlie Morton's 4-0 with a 2.32 ERA for the Rays. Chad Green 0-2 with a 13.98 ERA for the Yankees. Tampa Bay's been very good away from home. They're traveling very well. 15-6 away from home this year. 14-7 against the spread in that same category. And of course, when I refer to the spread in Major League Baseball, I'm referring to the run line. So once again, 14-7 ATS in their games away from home this year. New York on the other side, just 20th in home hits. Their offense is putting up just 4.2 runs per contest on average at home. I'm going to lean Tampa Bay winning this one outright whenever that line comes up. But right now, there is no line for this game. There's no money line, no total, no lines posted for this game. But I think Tampa Bay should win this one outright. All right, next game, we have Orioles. Indians, 1:10 Eastern first pitch in Cleveland. We have Jeffrey Ramirez for the O's, Shane Bieber for the Indians. Jeffrey Ramirez is 0-1 with a 5.14 ERA for Baltimore. Shane Bieber's 2-2 with a 3.81 ERA for the Indians. The Indians are fourth in runs allowed, 13-8 at home. Meanwhile, Baltimore just not winners in 9 out of 24 away from home. They're also 10-24 against the spread in that same category. I'm going to lean Cleveland winning that one outright. Next game, Dodgers, Reds, 1:10 Eastern first pitch in Cincinnati. The Dodgers open $1.60, total 9.5, 10-cent move toward the Dodgers up to 170. Once again, Los Angeles open 160, up to minus 170, totals 9.5. 68% are leaning Dodgers, 65% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Reds are plus 160 on the money line, Dodgers minus $1.10 on the run line. We have Ryu for the Dodgers, Tanner Roark for the Reds. Ryu is 5-1 with a 1.72 ERA for Los Angeles. Tanner Roark comes into this game with a 3.50 ERA for the Reds. Now, the Dodgers are second in walks on the road this year. They also rank 8th in scoring. Now, on the other side, Cincinnati's 27th in hits, and they're also striking out 9 times per contest at home. I'm going to lean Dodgers minus 170 and the under 9.5 in that game. Next matchup I have for you, it is going to be Athletics, Tigers. Give me Oakland minus 175 in the over 10 runs in that game. Next matchup, it's going to be the Mets taking on the Marlins. Give me the Mets minus 190 in the under 7 runs in that game. Next matchup, it is going to be Brewers, Braves. 1:20 Eastern first pitch in Atlanta. Milwaukee opened the betting as the $1.20 favorite, total of 9.5. We're seeing a nickel fade of Milwaukee down to 115. Once again, the Brewers open $1.20 down to minus 115. Totals at 9.5. 61% of the consensus is leaning toward the Brewers. 63% of the consensus shaded toward the over. Right now, the Braves are plus 105 on the money line. Brewers plus 135 on the run line. We have Woodruff for the Brewers, Fulte for the Braves. That's Mike Fultonavich, of course. Woodruff is 6-1 with a 3.72 ERA for the Brewers. Fulte is 0-3 with an 8.01 ERA for the Braves. Milwaukee's first in offensive walks on the road. They're also 7-2 straight up when Woodruff makes the start. A couple more things to add about the Brewers. They're winning 70% of their games as the favorite. They're also 14-4 in their games at the current market price. Now, on the other side, completely different story. Atlanta's winless when Fultonavich makes the start, and although he's 0-3 in his personal record, Atlanta's 0-4 when Mike makes the start this year. They're also winning just 22% of their games at tipped off at the current market price. And total-wise, Milwaukee's 70% to the under in their last 10 on the road. Give me the Brewers minus 115. And the under 9.5 in that game. Next matchup, Blue Jays, White Sox. Give me the Blue Jays plus 105 and the under 9.5 in that game. Next matchup, Cardinals, Rangers, 3:05 Eastern first pitch in Arlington. The Cards open $1.60, total 10.5. We're seeing a 10-cent fade of the Cards and movement upward on the total. Minus 150 and 11 flat. Once again, the Cardinals open $1.60 down to minus 150. Total open 10.5 up to 11. 65% are leaning Cardinals, 55% shaded toward the over. Right now, Texas is plus 140 on the money line. We have Jack Flaherty for the Cards, Smiley for the Rangers. Flaherty comes into this matchup with a 4-3 record on the year. Having said that, though, Texas, very good at home scoring. They're first in home scoring. They're averaging 6.3 runs per contest in that category there. They're also 13-7 in their last 20 at home. St. Louis, on the other side, winners in just 4 out of their last 16. They've also dropped 7 out of their... Let's try that again. St. Louis, winners in just 4 out of their last 16. They've also dropped 7 out of their last 9 on the road. Give me Texas plus 1.5 and the over 11 runs in that game. Next matchup I have for you, it is going to be Royals, Angels. Give me the Angels minus 160 and the over 9 runs in that matchup. Next game, Pittsburgh, San Diego. 4:10 Eastern first pitch at the Padres. San Diego opened $1.30, total at 8. 20-cent fade of the Padres and movement downward on the total. Minus 110, 7.5. Once again, San Diego opened 130 down to minus 110. Total open 8 down to 7.5. 52% are leaning Pirates, 51% shaded toward the over. We have Musgrove for the Pirates, Quantrill for the Padres, really love this price point. Love the Padres at home here. Give me San Diego minus 110 and the under 7.5 in that game. Next matchup, Giants. Diamondbacks, 4:10 Eastern first pitch in Arizona, Chase Field. Arizona open minus 160, total 8.5. Nickel move toward the Diamondbacks and movement downward on the total, 165 and 8 flat. Once again, the Diamondbacks open $1.60 up to minus 165. Total open 8.5 down to 8 flat. 69% are leaning Diamondbacks, 54% on the over. San Fran's plus 150 on the money line. Arizona plus 120, laying the run and a half. We have Drew Pomeranz for the Giants, Ray for the Diamondbacks. Pomeranz is just 1-4 with a 5.93 ERA. Ray's 3-1 with a 3.14 ERA. Arizona ranked 7th in scoring, 3rd in hits. The Giants on the other side just 24th in scoring and 27th in walks on the road. So really struggling getting those free passes. Now total-wise, San Fran is 10-3 to the over in their last 13. Give me the Diamondbacks minus 135 and the over 8 runs in that game. Next matchup, Twins, Mariners. 4:10 Eastern first pitch in Seattle. The Twins open $1.15, total at 9. Just a nickel fade of the Twins down to 110. Once again, Minnesota open $1.15 down to minus 110. Totals at 9. 59% are leaning Twins, 64% shaded toward the over. Right now, Minnesota's plus 150, laying the run and a half. We have Gibson for the Twins, Kikuchi for the Mariners. Gibson's 4-1 with a 4.26 ERA for Minnesota. Kikuchi's 2-1 with a 3.64 ERA for Seattle. Minnesota's first in road scoring, first in road hits. They're putting up 6.82 runs per contest on the road on average. They're also 6-2 when Gibson makes the start. They're winning 75% of their games, taking on teams allowing more than 4.2 runs per contest. And last but not least, this Minnesota team is winning 88% of their games played at the current market price. Now, Seattle on the other side, they're winning just 39% of their games at home. They're also winning just 31% of their games as the official home underdog. And really bad stat right here. You might want to listen up to this one because Seattle is winning just 12% of their games, taking on teams allowing 3.9 to 4.2 runs per contest. Now, total-wise, Seattle's 6-2 to the over in their last 8. Give me Minnesota minus 110 and the over 9 runs in that game. Next and final matchup, it is going to be Cubbies, Nationals, 708 Washington. The Cubs open $1.25, total 9.5. 10-cent move toward the Cubs up to 135. Once again, Chicago open $1.25 up to minus 135. Totals 9.5. 68% are leaning Cubbies, 70% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Nats are plus 120 on the money line. Chicago plus 115 on the run line. We have Hendricks for the Cubs, Hellickson for the Nats. Hendricks comes into this game with a 2.86 ERA for Chicago. Meanwhile, on the other side, Hellickson at a rotund 6.00 ERA for the Nationals. Now, Washington's 23rd in runs allowed. They're also striking out 9.62 times per contest. They won just 9 out of 21 games as the underdog. Chicago on the other side, 18-8 as the favorite. They're winning 75% of their games at the current market price. When it comes to the total, the Cubbies are 73% to the over on the road when the line was 9 or higher. So I'm going to lean Chicago Cubs minus 135 and the over 9.5 in that game. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Before I get out of here, make sure you check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. Link is in the description section below. Of course, I got to thank you for watching this free information, this free program right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this free information and this free content. Best of luck to you in your wagering today. And as always, do not forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.